I was going to say, what episode is it? But I know what episode it is.
700.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 700th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, Steve. With me is Bobby.
Hello. As a celebration of 700 episodes, I woke up to a shiny Pumpkaboo in Pokemon Sleep this morning.
Ooh, triple pumpkin?
No, it was actually terrible.
Oh, no.
As shinies are. But it's purple, and that's awesome. So I'll take it.
All right. Austin also here for the big
You'll
700.
Never guess what I did this weekend. You'll never guess. Spelunking, and I found a real-life Crystal Onyx.
What?
Wow.
Throwback.
Oh, yeah, this is the I need to do something exciting every week.
Yeah, I went spelunking last weekend. Really in my Minecraft era.
I was like, you're prepping for your Survivor debut? Spelunking?
Absolutely. Jeff, here's an idol.
I don't think I could do Survivor. It would require me to like coconut, and I just don't like the flavor of coconut.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
That's the thing that would keep you from Survivor over anything
The
else.
coconut.
It's not the challenges or sleeping in the
Well,
sand.
you just gotta win a reward challenge, then you get like a burger or something.
That's true. I feel like if it was between coconut or burger, I would win. I would try my hardest to win every.
Well, there you go.
I don't think those people are trying hard enough. They're probably like, oh, I'm okay with coconut tonight.
I don't know. Sometimes they really like their burgers.
Who doesn't?
True.
All right, we got a show for you guys today. 700, big one. We are still a news podcast at the end of the day, so this isn't going to be like a Simpsons throwback, like here are the clips like of like what happened. Maybe we'll save that for 1,000. Although we do have more than 700 episodes. It's just some of them are not numbered. Like we just did, 12 episodes that were for ZA and
Yeah.
those are technically numbered. So, I don't know. If I was to guess, it would probably be closer to 900, actually. With all.
Okay. We'll just celebrate 900 today then.
All right, 900 it is.
Happy 900!
So we have some Pokemon Go news. Next year is the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go, and they announced two things leading into 10 years. Although I thought they would wait until next year, but why not December? Why not before everyone leaves for a holiday vacation? We announce a bunch of stuff. We have the Pokemon Sleep Christmas event. There was a post about the mobile gaming revenue for Sleep, Unite, Home, Cafe Remix, all that stuff. We're going to talk about that, and maybe how accurate or not accurate that is. And then this little DLC came out, Legends ZA DLC came out. We are going to talk about that in the sense of like our thoughts and feelings of it, what we like, what we don't like. No worries in the sense of we're not going to talk about any new megas. We'll probably give you guys another week or two before we talk about new megas. We're not going to talk about any story beats of who is whose children or who's related to who or what adult came in here, or we'll save that for another week or so. It gives you guys the weekend to play it. I think there is probably a conversation to be had of is $30 worth it for one DLC versus what we've spent before, $35-ish to $40 for 2 DLCs. I also saw a couple tweets of like, maybe the second DLC will add this. I don't know where people are getting this from. They never said there was going to be a second DLC.
Ain't no way
No.
there's a second one.
No, they would have
Let that
announced
go
that
right now.
right away. That people don't surprise announce new DLCs after the first one dropped.
They already announced the first one they announced before the game came out. If there was a second one, you'd know.
I mean, with Scarlet and Violet Sword and Shield, they announced both DLCs at the same time in the same price of purchasing it. I don't think that. Well, this is also the same fandom that thought like there would be a DLC after something called an epilogue.
Well, that's still coming. They haven't announced that yet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Epilogue
It'll
part
be here.
2.
Maybe there's an epilogue. I could maybe ZA epilogue. We'll give you an extra hour of content. I think the epilogue was about an hour long. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was
maybe
quick.
Maybe like an
real
hour and a
quick.
half if you played slow.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? Let's start out with Pokemon Go. This episode. I think this is a pretty big deal, even though I probably won't use it as much as maybe some of the listeners will. But trade remotely with your forever friends. 9 years and 8 months in the making. This is off PokemonGo.com. Get ready to level. Also, there at one point, I don't know when this happened. You would have to go to PokemonGoLive.com.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just PokemonGo.com.
I still go to PokemonGoLive.com every day. I just typed it into my browser, PokemonGoLive.com, because it's what it always was. And
when
then,
did they drop the live?
They did, and because the live used to take you, I think the live used to take you straight into the news, like straight into the news events. And now it just takes you to the overarching, and you have to go click on news. It's a whole. What are you doing over there, Niantic? Like, switch it back.
That's why Scopely bought it. They were like, we're so sick of PokemonGoLive.com. We need to buy this company and then drop the live. We can afford to drop the live now. Whoever was sitting on that domain. Get ready to level up your Pokemon Go friendships. Everyone can work towards the newest friendship level, Forever Friends. When you become a Forever Friend, you will be awarded with a remote trade, which will let you trade Pokemon with that friend from anywhere. There's a lot here. I'm not gonna read the whole press release. I'm gonna give the gist here. So first off, they did upgrade the friends list from 450 to 650. Although they said that they're going to be piecing it out like 50 every week until it goes to 650. They didn't really give a game plan of this. As somebody who's had a max friends list before, I don't know why you would ever want this. It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. I can't imagine having 650 friends in Pokemon Go. I can't send gifts to the 30 that are my best friends now.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It takes forever.
Like maybe if this was the only video game you played, like not even anything, not even any other Pokemon games. If this was maybe the only game you played, maybe.
And you're incredibly social.
Yeah,
maybe.
And like maybe when you're like having your French toast, cinnamon toast crunch. That's the new flavor I've invented.
Okay.
It's extra French toast in the cinnamon toast crunch. When you're having that for breakfast and you're cutting your banana pieces into it, you're opening and sending gifts throughout that entire breakfast. Maybe that's like just a routine you're doing.
Who
It doesn't
puts
sound too
banana
bad.
slices in cinnamon toast crunch?
I feel like that would be pretty good, actually. What do you mean?
Comment down below if you put banana slices in your cinnamon toast
It
crunch.
doesn't sound
please.
awful.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
I guess I could give it a try. Okay.
I don't.
Too many friends.
I mean, if your goal is to get a bunch of experience and level up, having friends and like sending gifts and then getting that is the best way to like level up for sure. I'm not debating that.
There's no way. I mean, you're getting 650 friends, so that maybe 40% of them will send you gifts. There's no way 650 people are sending you gifts.
Even that's true. That's true. I need Niantic to add a feature that is plus 2 days. I need that to be like plus a month or plus 2 months.
Yeah.
Because
So you know
I know I'm sure there's like some after you're done setting your 50 gifts and opening your 50 gifts, you could take it even further and start nicknaming people. I mean, like, okay, your last Pokemon was Squirtle, and I haven't seen you catch anything besides that Squirtle, and then like come back. And I'm sure there are some people out there with huge spreadsheets of their friends list. I don't doubt that exists. I'm confident that does exist. But I want to get rid of people so I can focus on the people that are actually playing and actually opening my
Sure.
gifts. That's why I cannot imagine adding more people.
I mean, you could 2+ days is enough for you. You were gonna drop me from sleep after like 1 day of not
Okay.
opening.
Sleep is like way more important. Sleep, I need you playing every day. So yeah, 2+ days. Pokemon Go, yeah, you can skip a week. That's fine. But even like experience aside, I think the problem with having a huge friends list, and like I said, I've had 450 before. I'm down to like 400 now because I've been deleting people. Is like scrolling through and like sending gifts and opening gifts, nicknaming people. I hate when you like scroll down to nickname somebody, and then when you get out of the nickname, it like pushes you back to the top.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you're like, okay, well, I gotta scroll down and like pick up where I left off. There's something else that like pushes you back to the top that you do. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's part of like going through and organizing it. When you're doing like the raid invites of inviting people, and even
Yeah.
if that person is online and active, I would also like I want to start making a mental note of I've invited this person to multiple raids in the past year and they've joined none of them. I'm just going to delete them at this point. Because it's
mean-
another name that's like blocking the list of going through.
This sounds like you're paywalling your friends list.
I should be.
You should.
Although
What?
like if somebody is on my friends list because of Patreon and they invite me to a raid, I'm like, well, they're a
gotta
Patreon
join.
member. I gotta join.
I gotta get in that one, I guess.
I don't want to let them down.
Steve's joining 3-star Weepin' Bell raids. I could see it now.
No, I'm still never joining like a 1-star or a 3-star. Like if I'm gonna spend $2 on a remote raid, I want the max rewards. Anyways, they're increasing the friends list. Good luck with that, I guess. Here's I don't know if it says it in the thing. I had like Niantic brought us into a meeting. Here's your disclosure, like 2 days before they announced this, and they go like, this is coming. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We can sum it up so when you make your YouTube videos or whatnot, you can clarify for your audience. So you have to get to best friends first, and then once you get to best friends, what's it called? Forever Friends is every 90 days. And they actually, I don't think they use the word here at all. They actually, with us, they use the word prestige, which is really funny because I think we were talking about prestiging like a month or two ago. And the first time I heard the word prestige in a video game was like Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
So ultimately, in like Call of Duty, if you got to, what was the max level in Call
Level
of Duty?
70.
Well, if you got to 70, you would prestige and then start back over and then go up to 70 again.
We did
So
have this conversation, right?
Yes. I
You-
don't
and
remember
you
if we had this conversation on the podcast specifically or my Twitch stream.
Oh, maybe it was on Twitch. Maybe it was
It might have been on Twitch.
Yeah.
So they use the word prestige with us, and they were like, you can prestige, and once you hit 90 with Forever Friends, you go back and you can start the 90 again. And I was like, oh, that's pretty
That is
clever.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a nice way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still be lucky. So if I use my lucky trinket on Bobby and I don't plan on seeing Bobby for the next year, when we do the remote trade, it would still be lucky. I could pop that early. I could pop that right before the trade. That would still work. The Forever Friends trade doesn't take away from your special trade. It is its own instance of a special trade. So I could trade, Kyogre for Kyogre with Bobby, Forever Friends. Technically, a legendary would be a special trade, but then if I'm in person with like Will, I could trade Will a Kyogre, and that would be my special trade for the day. So the Forever Friends doesn't block that, which is really great. Some Other slightly weird things about the remote trades is you can't trade a previously traded Pokemon. There's like no exception to that. No shadow Pokemon, no mythical Pokemon. So all the Darkrai's you caught from Wild Area, you still can't trade those. If your Pokemon is in defending a gym or a power spot, your Pokemon set as a buddy, you can't trade those. You can't trade fused Pokemon, Crown Zacian, Crown Zamazenta, Pokemon at playgrounds. Most people listening to the podcast have no clue what a playground is because they're so limited throughout the world, and it's just a photo spot opportunity in the game.
No one's
then-
using playgrounds. No one's using playgrounds.
Yeah,
Even
no
in
one's
where
using
they
playgrounds.
are,
Nope.
nobody's using playgrounds.
I know where one is though. But I'm never using
when
it.
I was in Japan, there was a playground on my hotel, and I remember texting Bobby being like, "What is this?"
What is this?
Yeah.
And then the other exception to all of this is you cannot remote trade a Pokemon caught in the last 30 days. Which I don't think is that big of a deal.
No.
I think it's just a block. I think it's mostly just a block like a Worlds event or a Wild Area event or like a Mudbray at a Safari Zone where I think it's just to block that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And or there might be issues with you know how like Niantic sometimes forgets to turn on a shiny or off a shiny, or like was it
Yes.
Nimble on for like 6 hours?
That might sound right. Yeah.
They've made
And
their
then-
fair share of those mistakes.
There was like a Detective Pikachu that could have been shiny at one point, and then like 3 years later, they eventually turned it on for everyone. I feel like that Pokemon caught in the last 30 days is just to cover Niantic's butt.
That's fair.
But yeah, I don't think that's the biggest deal in the world.
No, I feel like you either wait 30 days, right? 'Cause,
And
I mean,
Forever Friends
the-
already
it-
takes 90, so
right.
exactly.
And the remote trades are per friend anyway. So it's like if I use my remote trade with you, Steve, because we're forever friends, that doesn't mean I can't remote trade with Austin when we're forever friends, like when we hit that 90 also. So it's not like it's keeping you from doing a trade with somebody else because you're waiting on something. So I don't see a big deal with the delay there.
you can also have multiple Forever Friends, and once you have Forever Friends, you can start working towards the Forever Friends. From my understanding, that's what they said. So, for example, me and Bobby get Forever Friends. We prestige. It's still weird to say. We can start working towards Forever Friends again, but we can't have 2 Forever Friends at the same time. So we're not forced to use the Forever Friends trade right away. But before we prestige a second time, we do have to initiate a trade. Otherwise, it's not going to give. We can't hold. Ultimately, you can't hold 2 trades at the same time
With the same
the
person.
same person.
Right.
So I could get Forever Friends with Bobby, wait 75 days, then do the trade, and then in 15 more days we'll have another Forever Friends trade.
Cool.
What does happen if you get to that 90? Does it just not have a trade until you do your first trade and then
That's a good
generates
question.
a second?
I don't know if you prestige without it,
Yeah.
or it just waits until you trade. We could try. Get back to us in 90 days.
Get back to us. I feel like it would just wait for you to trade and then it would. No, that seems too easy. I don't know.
I can give a pro tip because even Niantic gave us this pro tip in the meeting. They said if you wanted to min-max forever trades, which was kind of cool that they brought this up because they definitely thought about it. They said you can do the weekly challenge with the person you want to forever trade because you will get 7 hearts on that completion of the weekly challenge.
Oh.
So you could weekly challenge completion on Monday, and then do 6 interactions through the other 6 days of the week, and that's so you can get 13 a week instead of 7 a week.
Oh, wow.
If you are weekly challenging with the same person.
Nice.
So yeah, I just weekly challenged with my friend Lee in Australia. It wasn't intentional. Like it was just like, oh, he has a spot. Let me join. We were already best friends, and so now I already have 7 days with them. Even though I haven't opened any gifts with them, it's just we did the weekly challenge, so I got this. I think it's 7 points. Maybe I'm wrong. I think
No, I
it's
think that sounds right. 7. Yeah, I think it's at 7. Or
so.
I
Yeah,
saw that somewhere.
if you wanted to min max, you can do weekly challenges with people. I 90 days I think is fine. I really don't see any complaints with this. This might be one of the most thought out systems Niantic has done.
It seems pretty good. Yeah, there's nothing. And plus, being able to remotely trade is something I think a lot of people have wanted for a while. So
Yeah.
a 90-day wait is nothing compared to what the last 10 years. So
Yeah.
good enough.
Yeah, I mean, the only argument I can see is people still just thinking, okay, in every other Pokemon game, well, not every other, but in like the main series Pokemon games, we can just trade anywhere,
Sure.
anytime without any issue, right? And I think this is a step in the right direction. Do we think that they'll ever expedite the process, make it shorter at some point in the future? Like, I don't know. They might just keep it at this 90 days because I understand them not wanting people to.
Well, isn't expediting it would just be like double friendship interaction, which they've done before.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So
You could do it in
you'll have those
45 if
events.
it was like our. That's the real trick is you get those people on your friends list that are like 2 days away from best friends, and they're like they don't want to like do the interaction because it's too close, and then when they release like the double friendship interaction, you're like, I'm pressing this button.
What we need to have is like a soothe bell item that you can give to a friend, and you'll increase your friendship faster.
There you go. It's the next step.
If we want to be like, how can this? I don't even know if this would be a negative, but this could lead to Niantic include. You know how like Lucky Trinket is an item you can get. Wouldn't like remote trade? That's a really bad name. Remote trade, distance trade, like an item that would trigger a remote trade regardless of friendship level.
I see. I don't know. They spent so long just to get to this point. I don't know that they would then throw out like, here's an item that makes it happen that much.
No, I don't think it would come anytime soon, but I could see it come in like a year or so.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is like, they're charging $10 for a Lucky Trinket, or they're charging $10 for another incubator. I don't see why they wouldn't charge $10 for a like force distance trade.
Do you remember when they expanded the like distance for trading? It was at one point you could do it with someone that was maybe like 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers away from you.
It's like pretty much like it would reach your entire city. If you lived in like one of the top, 25 biggest cities in the United States, it would fill the entire city mostly.
That was great. That was so great. And then they took that, and then that happened for a very short period of time. I think it was during an event or something. They did it a couple times, and then they just never brought it back. Never again. Those were good times.
I think I do think going into the 10-year anniversary and like having this ready and having it announced ahead of time, I think is kind of smart from a marketing perspective, because I feel like if somebody came back to Pokemon Go or like left Pokemon Go and now you tell them, oh, like you can remote trade with people around the world, and that person might have a bunch of like lucky friends that they don't know where they are, and now they know they can get like a Hawlucha or Stonejarner or I said it right, or a Kangaskhan, right? I said that one wrong. That might be enough incentive to be like, hey, I'm missing one Kanto Pokemon, I'm missing one Galar Pokemon, I'm missing Chatot, and now I can get these lucky trades done. I have something new to work towards. I can fill my Pokedex. I think it's smart. I don't know if it's going to actually bring back that many people, but I also don't know what else you could do to bring back people.
Sure.
Mewtwo. Bring back Mewtwo.
Yeah, Mewtwo. The Mewtwo button.
Mewtwo button.
ZA was really struggling. They had to hit the mute button. They were like, we can't possibly do this. All right, the other Pokemon Go news before we take a break is they announced Go Fest 2026. They got Go Fest Tokyo at Bay Area. I think that's like near Narita Airport. I think that's where it's supposed to be. That's going to be Friday, May 29th to June 1st, and then ticketed citywide gameplay will start on May 25th. We'll get back to that. To no one's surprise, Go Fest Chicago at Grant Park. This is indeed where I have video on my YouTube channel of John Hankey getting booed. That is Friday, June 5th to Sunday, June 7th. Ticketed wide gameplay will begin on Thursday, June 4th. So if you want an extra day, you can come on Thursday. And then Go Fest Copenhagen, which I think is in Germany, is Friday,
Denmark.
Oh, is it Denmark?
Yeah.
Oh. Is Denmark near Germany? You're asking the Americans
we get made
where
fun
that
of
is
so
on the
much
map.
for our lack of geography knowledge, all being in
Yeah.
America. I
The
don't.
I know, I
podcast
looked-
channel is going to be a
looked at
mess
the little
just because
dot
of this.
I looked at the dot on the map. I thought it was like North Germany.
Copenhagen is in Denmark.
Okay. I don't know how to say the Falid Parken. Whatever that is. They put the A and the E together in one letter. I'm sure I said that right. Stonejarner. June 12th to June 14th. Also, ticketed gameplay will begin on Thursday. They did the thing. They did the thing where they're all back to back. It would be very hard to go to all three if you wanted to go to all three. Possible. Definitely possible.
Yeah.
Just would be a lot of travel for, and as somebody who did all three, not this year, but last year, you never want to do all three. They're so similar.
It sounds like a lot.
But you could see Denmark.
And be maybe close enough to Germany.
Yeah, it's right above Germany. Like
Okay, it is above
right up
Germany.
there.
Okay. Is this enough for you? You hate traveling, Bobby, but Chicago?
Maybe Denmark.
No, not Denmark.
No, I probably won't go to Go Fest.
Austin?
Yeah, maybe. Because it's also at the same time as the museum in Chicago.
True. The fossil
And so,
museum.
a nice little trip out there for that would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but you would have to add extra days. Like you don't want to go to the museum.
for sure. Yeah,
you definitely don't want to go to the museum Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No,
It's gonna be
because
slammed.
everybody's going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well-
got to add on like the Monday, Tuesday afterwards. and, like, go-
Absolutely.
yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
could see like a week or two trip out there. Well, maybe two's too many, but
Yeah.
like a
To
week.
be fair, I think I'm going. I'm possibly going to Chicago in July of next year, so that is why I probably wouldn't go in June. Also,
That's also
Mm.
fair.
Yeah, that's exciting. I There's no other details. We know nothing. Did they say on the press release here, stay tuned. We will share more with you in March.
yeah, it's a little ways
Thanks.
away. How long? It's just is it a short drive to Chicago from where you are, or is it still a flight?
For me, it's a 6-hour drive.
Oh,
When I lived in Milwaukee, it was an hour drive.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
of, was that okay?
It's like a 45-minute flight, I think. Or we now have the Amtrak, which is also 6 hours, but I don't have to drive. I can just sit on a train.
Yeah.
I think it's like $87 one way and like $140 round trip.
That's not bad.
And I
I'd
don't
sit
have to
on a
drive.
train for 6 hours.
Yeah,
You could edit a podcast or something.
that's true. That's true.
Good use of time.
If we had like a high-speed rail, it would only be like 2 hours, but we don't have that in America because we're like a third world country over here
Yeah,
now.
they're not happening.
Yeah, no. Do they have them in Denmark?
Yeah, they probably have high-speed rail in Denmark, right? Maybe.
Maybe.
I took a high-speed rail from Madrid to Barcelona. That was like 2 hours.
Okay. It's nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Going back to Tokyo at Bay Area, they're giving Japanese players a whole week. You can buy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then play on either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, and then also add more city days.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. That also seems like a lot of money too, assuming each day is what, like $20?
Yeah. So that's like you're spending upwards of $200 if you get everything, maybe. Like more than that, maybe.
There's no way, unless you are purely a tourist, that you're doing every day. And even if you're doing every day, like, why?
The hardcore Go players?
But what yeah, I guess, what possibly are you chasing?
I don't know. We don't even know what it'll be at Go Fest next year. So
Mewtwo.
yeah, you too.
I mean, it is nice for like the normal person, right? Let's say
Yeah.
you're going to Go Fest on Saturday, but also you get Wednesdays off. It's nice that you can add on Wednesday. And like, I got to work Thursday, Friday, and like some people might have Tuesdays off, so they could add that Tuesday. So like for a week-long celebration, and you're working 5 days a week, but you might not have the typical Saturday, Sunday off. It is nice that you can be like, oh, cool, I can just do Tuesday.
I wonder if this is them testing that out. And if it works well, we could potentially see that with all 3 Go Fests in the future. Because that, to your point, that actually does make a lot of sense. Make a whole week out of it instead of, it's not, obviously Go Fest is still just the tail end of it there, but make a whole week of people who are local or people who just, it's like, oh, I'd love to play on this day, but I work the rest of the week, but I can play this one day. And then I have my Go Fest day later in the week. I could see that being beneficial. I mean, we're always talking about how it'd be nice for them to give more time for certain things because people are working and not everybody has the same schedule and not everybody gets to have, the same enjoyment. And making something a week long, you're going to pretty much hit everybody, right? Like, unless you are out of town for that week.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have some chance where you could say, oh, I work all these days, but like, oh, I have this one day open. And then there's availability to do some citywide play or something.
Right. Also, like the Japan Go Fest is the one that sells out before any other Go Fest.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and it being in Tokyo, I think it's now officially the second most biggest city in the world. I think Jakarta just beat it out recently. You probably want the most amount of people to be able to play instead of that event selling out instantly.
Absolutely.
Because even if it's in somewhere else in Japan, like Nagasaki or Sapporo, like those people will have to still travel there, right? Like,
right, for sure.
Whereas Tokyo, it's like, oh, I don't have to travel. It's here in my city. So yeah, that's exciting. Well, I guess we'll circle back in March, although it could be even as early as Pokemon Day, right? February 28th, we could probably get more news.
Yeah. Or you know how sometimes like Pokemon Day falls on a day, but then there are still announcements surrounding it, right? And Pokemon Day right at the end of February. So I think those are going to be somehow intertwined in some way.
Yeah. Possibly the Mewtwo button.
Possibly.
Okay, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about ZA again. No story spoilers, no mega spoilers, so just so no one's stressed out about needing to hit the pause button. Just general thoughts and vibes of this DLC and whether we think it's worth $30. So we will be right back. Big Big 700. Big 700. Big 700. Big 700.
Terrifying, and maybe exciting. Terrifying and exciting at the same time.
Big 700. Big 700. Big 700. Big.
Terrifying, and maybe exciting. Terrifying and exciting at the same time.
Big 700. 700. And we are back from our break. Mega Dimension. Again, here's your no spoilers for new megas, no spoilers for story, just thoughts and vibes of Mega Dimension. This is like the most expensive DLC we've gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, assuming there's no surprise second one or epilogue.
Not the surprise second one.
That would be weird to sell us a. Well, are you assuming the surprise second one would be free, or would they
yeah,
charge
true.
another $30?
Yeah, they probably have to remarket it and make it be another $30.
But Scarlet and Violet was $40 for the teal mask and the indigo disc, and then Sword and Shield was $35, wasn't it? It was.
I believe so.
Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. So this is.
Was it 35
like-
and 40? I thought it was 30 and 35.
No, I do remember people complaining that Scarlet and Violet was more expensive than Sword and Shield. I think it was
Okay.
35 and 40.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely there was a $5 difference between them. I know that. Like, for sure. So,
But either way, you were getting 2 DLCs,
yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
and this is only 1.
Yeah.
And it's not even a new area.
Right. I was going to say, you were getting new area. More importantly, is each of those DLCs, you were getting brand new areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a new area.
Yeah, if you just desaturate Lumios and then also move around a couple cars.
The music's good, though.
The music
I
is
like
good.
that music. It's real good.
And let me start off with the complaint.
As we do.
I don't mind hyperspace Lumios.
Okay.
There's only however many maps there are, which I think is weird. I guess I expected it to be more randomized and more roguelike in the
So
sense
did I.
of like every time you go in, it's slightly different. But every time you go in, they just put you in a different place.
Yeah. That is
So
true.
there's only so many maps.
Right.
But my complaint is when you go to hyperspace sewers, it's not black and white.
Oh, I haven't been down there.
Like the sewers are just the sewers.
You are right. Absolutely. Never noticed that until you just pointed it out. And now it will bother me now.
Maybe no, I got nothing.
Yeah, because when you go to hyperspace Lumios, everything is like a silverishly gray color, right?
Yeah.
And then when you go to the hyperspace sewers, it's just the sewers.
I mean,
God.
going into the sewers is like going into a different dimension in the main game too.
Yeah, it's
really.
true. It was like they actually worked on the graphics down there. Maybe they were so proud of the like brown brick graphics. They were like, we can't possibly desaturate this. We're
Yeah.
too
This looks
proud of
so
this
good.
color."
We would be awful to ruin this.
Okay. You know how we did say a lot of people when the game first came out thought there was going to be an underground in the way that there was in Tears of the Kingdom?
I don't know who would have thought that, but
Yeah,
yes.
no one on
Yeah.
this podcast thought that.
So the hyperspace Lumios does kind of remind me of the underground of
Oh,
Tears of the Kingdom. Like
yeah.
everything is dark around you. It's the same kind of, I mean, it's the same map technically. Like,
It is, yeah.
you know, it's kind of that same vibe as the underground of Tears of the Kingdom. This is our underground of Tears of the Kingdom is hyperspace Lumios.
It
Except
it's
kind
in
of
the
sky.
is.
Kind of is.
A lot smaller.
It
This
is a
is
lot
like
smaller.
True.
this is like if you took the underside, the depths of Tears of the Kingdom, but you put it on the top, and there's nothing to do in the sky at all. There's such small little islands. There's nothing to do. This is that.
It does feel like the small little islands, yeah, because they're like little
Yeah.
pockets.
There's
But if it
still
was
more to
the
do in
depths
those.
in the same Lumios.
There's still more to do in those small little islands in the sky. than
For
in
Zelda?
Hyperspace Lumios.
Yeah, look, I don't mind Hyperspace Lumios.
Same.
I think here this is gonna be my hottest take. I don't normally agree, and I'm still not fully agreeing with people saying they cut the game and then they resold it to us as DLC. And so the thought is like, in order to get the full game, you have to spend like $100.
Sure.
Most DLC is worked on by a different team. It usually takes a little bit longer, right? But there's something about this DLC where I almost want to agree with those people.
Mm.
Where now, like the early complaints of ZA, and even from the people who actively dislike ZA, is the city is empty, there's nothing to do, it's super ugly. And I think all of those are pretty valid complaints. Like the game is kind of ugly. There is pockets of the city where it's like, why is it just empty? I have another side complaint of like they'll add characters in with the DLC into the world, and then you interact with them, and then they just leave, and it's like, okay, well now we're back. Like now we're back to it being empty. But I think that is my general thought process. Is I almost want to agree, because when the DLC came in, those empty spots on the map filled with people.
Mm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the emptiness or the blank spots on the walls felt filled in. Like, obviously there was like, okay, what are we going to do for DLC? What's going to be a fun add-on that we can do? But it did almost feel to me like this was planned all along, to the sense of, well, we need to keep the city empty in these spots because that's where we're going to charge the $30, and that's where a character's going to go here and a character's going to go here. Like there's a character that appears with like 3 Cyclozars. Cyclozar's not a new Pokemon, right? We just saw him last game. And it's just a small side mission, and he's like, I love Cyclozar. I'm gonna ride through all of Lumio City on a Cyclozar, and you're like, okay, cool. And he's in a spot where it was like kind of completely empty, and he's standing there with 3 Cyclozars, so it kind of fills in that spot really nice. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like, very cool to see Cyclozar standing here, and Cyclozar's model looks so good in this game compared to in Scarlet and Violet. And then you talk to him, and you do a battle. You battle his 3 Cyclozars. And then he completely disappears. No more Cyclozars. All gone. And now that spot is empty again.
Empty again.
Right.
And you're like, well, I almost didn't want to battle you now because now there's no Cyclozars to look at.
Right.
Well, that almost makes me feel the other way about it then, because if you were paying $30 to fill in all that space, that'd make more sense if it stayed.
There are some
Because-
NPCs that do stay.
Well, I'm just talking about the Cyclozar guy. Yeah. No, that is unfortunate, because that's always been the concern, right? That's always the concern with DLC is, are we only getting 80% of the game?
Because
And
they need
now-
to sell
Sure.
us.
Now we got to pay an extra 30 to get the rest. So that's unfortunate for sure. But I will say, I think when we got to the end of ZA, we all felt like we got a pretty good game for the price. Like it wasn't a short game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked this up. How long to beat said the average person takes 27 hours to beat ZA.
Okay.
Which Expedition 33 was 28 hours to how long to beat, and that was game of the year.
Yeah. I just feel like even if I didn't pay the extra for Mega Dimension, I still feel like I got a fairly fleshed out game. Maybe there could have been more to it. I'm not saying that people are wrong in thinking that, but I didn't feel like I only got part of a game
Sure.
when I got to the end of ZA. I
I
feel like
agree.
that was pretty well completed to some extent.
I think you're right. I think if you're looking at it from my $60 or $70, depending if you spent $10 extra on better frame rate. I think for $60 you do get a complete game. I do think I got $30 worth of enjoyment with the DLC. I like it. I like the gameplay loop. I like the story they're telling, although I will say they're pretty yappy. There's a lot more talking than maybe there needs to be. There's like a lot of filler. I feel like you could just cut this out.
Yeah.
Some of the talking is really funny. I like I said, I like Hyperspace Lumios. I think a lot of the new DLC side missions are really fun. I'm like maybe 16 hours in the DLC and I'm on the final mission, and I know there's lots after the final mission. Like I in a sense it does feel okay, so to compare it to maybe even Platinum or Ultra Sun Ultra Moon of okay, rebuy this game and we're going to give you like 10% extra content. We're going to like in Ultra Sun and Moon, it was like what the wormholes, which is like all post game stuff. And it's like Team Rainbow Rocket, which again is all post game stuff. But you have to like play through mostly the same game. I think they changed a little bit of the totems and they added that photo mode that no one used.
It's true.
So you're paying $40 for ultimately the same game.
Yeah.
But you have to play through it to access 10% of the stuff. I would rather just pay $30 to get all of this extra stuff and not have to like replay through. So I think in that value proposition of $40 for Sun and Moon and then another $40 for Ultra Sun and Moon, which only had like 3 new Pokemon, by the way. I think like this is a better deal plus more content, right?
Yeah, I would agree with you, other than Ultra Sun and Moon was Alola, and so that's just the better deal in my head. But other than that, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, I would 10 out of 10 times would rather just buy a DLC than a third copy with a little bit at the end.
But I do feel for the customer who isn't buying Sun and Moon first, right? They're just getting into it and they're just going and playing Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Sure.
And they only had to spend $40 and they didn't play Sun and Moon first. So they're just playing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and they're paying $40 and they're getting an entire game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that here. You're gonna, if you want Mega Dimension, you gotta buy the base game, right? So you're gonna end up having to pay that $90 or $100 for all of it.
No one should be buying Mega Dimension until they beat the game, because how many people?
No, I know.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying,
I'm sure there are some people out there that bought Mega Dimension with the intent to play it and then never even got through the base game, and then they're never going to experience that. That was 100% me with Fallout New Vegas. I think I bought the DLC and then I never beat New Vegas. And so I never got like, oh, why did I buy this DLC? I never got to it.
I do. I mean, I know that Pokemon isn't really known for doing this, but for instance, Cyberpunk 2077, that had a DLC that came out a couple of years ago. And when they released it on Switch 2, it was just the regular price. It was $70 and you got the entire game.
Oh,
versus,
sure.
Like
a Game of the Year edition almost.
Yeah,
Sure.
So instead of paying, you would have initially paid like 60 and then I think it was 30 for the DLC, so it was 90 like a few years ago. But when it came out on Switch 2, it was just 70 and you got it all. And I know Pokemon doesn't really do that. Like you can't go buy Scarlet and Violet with the DLC for only $60. Like you still have to pay the extra for the DLC. But that would be kind of cool if down the line they did that, where you just got ZA and Mega Dimension for 70 a year or two later, if you're coming into it later. But
the amount of people who'd be like, see, this is cut content. So
true.
There'd be a lot of those.
Yeah. So I don't see them doing that. But I thought that was cool with Cyberpunk, where it's like, okay, cool, I don't have to go spend the full 90, and I'm getting the whole
for
game
sure.
now for 70.
Do we feel the reason this doesn't maybe feel like enough for a DLC is because there's no new areas? Like, is that big of a part, do we think? Because we are just going through the same town, we're looking around the same stuff. Sure, there's some new people there, but we're not going anywhere, really.
Maybe I like the pockets throughout Lumios.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like that there's that randomization, and I do like that they updated the map where you can like filter it. I think in a sense of it makes the benches make more sense. And what I mean by that is in Scarlet and Violet, you have the map with all the outbreaks.
Mm-hmm.
And remember when it was bugged for like the first year where mostly people were getting flittle outbreaks?
Yeah, little outbreak every day.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
I don't know if people remember that Scarlet and Violet was bugged, so it was like mostly flittle outbreaks, and then they changed it where it was like, wow, I'm actually seeing different Pokemon now and not like flittle.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a flittle outbreak in like 2 years.
It's been forever. It's been forever.
I miss her. Bring her back. But in Scarlet and Violet, people would just change the outbreaks by going into the system clock and then changing the clock.
Uh-huh.
And you can just search for outbreaks or terror raids by doing that. And I don't think that's a great gaming experience, right? Like I need to go into my system clock to change the thing. Not that that's new to, Scarlet and Violet. I used to change the clock on my Game Boy when I was like 10 years old to like get Lapras to appear on Friday or whatever.
Sure.
You currently change your clock on your phone so that sleep.
You do that.
I paid $10. I've paid $200 to this game over 4 things of 6 months. I'm changing the clock. But I think just like sitting on a bench to change those outbreaks, or what are they, the hyperspace distortions or whatever.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think just sitting on the bench to change that and being like, oh, cool, like there's a silhouette of a Pokemon I don't know here. I think that's really fun and great. I don't know if that's like the future of that, but prior to this DLC coming out, I barely sat on the bench because I was just playing through, and that wasn't gonna like change too much. Or in the normal game, I think it was just like you wait 3 minutes, like, oh, I caught this Furfrou, I gotta wait 3 minutes, the Furfrou comes back. So I wasn't like, there wasn't really a reason I needed to change to day and night. I was doing enough during the day. It would be night. I was like, oh, it's nighttime now. I guess I'll do some battles. Go back to day. But now that I'm like trying to fill my Pokedex, it's nice to check them all and see like, oh, cool, I do want to do this, or maybe I'll come back to do this later. So in the sense of just like thinking about Scarlet and Violet outbreaks to thinking about these hyperspace outbreaks, it seems like that was thought about.
I mean, that's infinitely a better experience than going into your system settings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I actually didn't realize that's how those changed. So I'm not as far into the DLC as the two of you are, but I didn't realize that. So the spawns within those hyperspace outbreaks change based on day and night. I mean, like just when it switches over from day to night and night to day. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I think daytime is 16 minutes long, and then nighttime is 8 minutes long.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I want to talk about is like the difficulty scaling. So I'm pretty sure the game wants you to be level 100 for the DLC.
Oh,
and this is a conversation we've had since Sword and Shield of, okay, you're going to sell us. So going back to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, when you're forcing us to play through a new game again, we have to use new Pokemon, we have to level up, we have to get all our rare candy, all our bottle caps, all our resources all over again, just to, catch a Blacephalon or a Stakataka at the very end.
It's worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it.
And in Crown Tundra Isle of Armor, it's like, well, before those games came out, it's like, okay, well, I've been playing this game for 6 months. I have a team of 100. Is the DLC going to be 100? If it's not, I feel like I'm just going to steamroll it. What's the point? And turns out that the DLC did take in some level scaling. So for Sword and Shield, if you beat Leon, all the Pokemon in the DLC would be around level 80. And then if you didn't beat Leon, they would all be around level 20. That was the level scaling. And for what it's worth, that is level scaling. Maybe not the exact level scaling you want, but it's nice that you could start the DLC pretty much right away.
Yeah.
And enjoy it in that instance. In this instance, you can't. You have to beat the entire game. And ultimately, you have to be level 100.
Yeah.
And then they did the same thing for Scarlet and Violet. I don't remember what the threshold was. I think as soon as you got out of the... I think it was the same thing. I think as long as you got through the tutorial, you could go to Kitakami. Things were like level 20-ish. And then if you were a champion, things would... I don't even think it was champion. I think it was you had to beat the tournament after champion, and then things would be level 80.
Yep.
And then Kieran being one of the strongest NPCs in the entire game, besides, I think, BDSP Cynthia. I think BDSP's Cynthia's Garchomp was level 86, and I think Kieran's Hydrapple was 85, but I think Kieran had more higher level Pokemon than Cynthia. It's just Cynthia had an 86 Garchomp.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how it was. So anyways, I would maybe argue for some... Well, it's a double battle, and it's really hard to say what people's skill levels are because we've all joined 7-star Terror Raids, and people's skill levels are just absolute dog water. Like, people are bringing the weirdest Pokemon to level 100s, or they're bringing level 70 Pokemon to level 100s. It's like, do you not know this Pokemon's level 100? But I do think they set Kieran up in a way where they made it seem like a real competitive double battle for an NPC to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Whether or not it was easy or hard for you, that's like a whole different conversation. I think the thought process of Kieran's team was very thought out and could be challenging if you were like an average Pokemon player. In this DLC, I think this is like the best part of the DLC, and it's probably my favorite part, is just how the donuts work with how levels work. Because ultimately you're level 100, and when you put in ingredients for a donut, it will say like, this donut's going to give you 2 minutes, and it's going to give you 6+ levels, and it's going to be a 1-star donut, and you can go up to a hyperspace distortion, and it will say, this is a 3-star donut, and things are going to be in this hyperspace. Things are going to be like a level 150. And so you can look and you can go, well, like, I know if I use this donut here, I'm going to have 2 minutes and I'm going to be 106, and everything in here is going to be 150. And you can decide that challenge for yourself. So if you wanted it to be more challenging, you can use that 1-star donut and you can be 40 levels under. And if you wanted it to be equal, you would use a 3-star donut and you would be 150, and it would be 150 instead of 2 minutes. It'll probably give you 5 minutes. And if that's still too hard for you because you're not an expert at battling, that's not why you come to Pokemon games, you could use a 4-star donut, and that would put you at like 170. And that instance would be like 150. And instead of it giving you 5 minutes, it would give you like 8 minutes. I think that is the coolest way to handle DLC. And it's not this weird thing of like, okay, well, everything in the DLC is 80, but I have this whole team of level 100s, and I don't really want to catch other Pokemon and then like level them to 80. Like, I want to use this team. So it's giving you that option to use that team. But now you can say like, you know what? The last one was kind of easy. What if I just go in with like a weaker donut? Or what if I'm lazy and I don't want to go back to the hotel and make a donut? I'm just going to try this with a weaker donut. And okay, cool. It's a little bit more challenging. I wasn't able to do it, no big deal. I'll just go out, grab a different donut. Or, wow, that was a little more challenging and I was able to win it. Maybe the next time I want to try a less donut. Like, I just think that it just gives you so many options right there, and that's so neat.
Yeah. I think we've said this before, right? When they give options, it just makes things better for the most part. And that is exactly this. Like you just said, and just the fact that there are options and it's not just, oh, here it is, like take it or leave it. It's like there are ways to go about making it challenging, making it easy, and that's open to everyone, which is really nice.
I do see parts where it's like, what is the purpose of making it more challenging, though? Because a lot of times the hard part is finding one of the Pokeballs out in the wild, right? I guess but like, because I don't see myself going in there and battling the wild Pokemon a lot. Sure, there's some areas that would, obviously without talking spoilers, just some places that you want to go where you would want more of a challenge, right? But overall, I don't see myself wanting to have a challenge against a bunch of level 130 Patrat.
Not around here. I don't think it's specifically the Patrat I'm thinking about. There are some people you can battle
Okay, sure. Okay.
that you go in and you can be like, oh, I can make this specific battle.
Mhm.
Or there are some mega Pokemon in the dimensions.
Yeah.
Where you can choose to make that harder or easier for you. I just think like, we had this conversation with Scarlet and Violet where you can pick any gym in any order, right? And then people were upset that there wasn't like proper level scaling. Although, in other games like Elden Ring, there is also not level scaling, right? You can go to the hardest area right away.
Yeah.
Or, 10 hours in the game, you can go back to the easiest area, and that's still going to be the easiest area. But I do like that in the sense of you can, go and do anything you want or go anywhere you want. And the game does tell you like, hey, go here first. Like if we had this conversation during the miniseries where Greg and Al were like, well, it doesn't tell you. And I was like, but it did. If you just opened the map and you hovered over it, it did tell you the order.
Right.
Like you just didn't read that, and now you were like upset that you didn't read that. But it does tell you what order to go in, and you can choose to do that order, or you can choose not to. But I think the problem with I think when Pokemon games, or I think when any game starts giving you restrictions, it actually gives you less options. So, for example, if you nothing is stopping you from bringing what Pokemon you want at what level you want and using what items you want. So when I played through Scarlet and Violet for the first time, I used a whole water team. That was just my preference. I was like, I'm just going to use water Pokemon through this playthrough.
I remember this.
And some of the gyms, it didn't really matter. And then when I got to Iono, it was harder. Because I had nothing but water Pokemon.
Water.
She had nothing but electric. So it took me, I think, like 3 times. And then I did it. And I was like, okay, cool. That was hard. Like, but nothing is ever stopping you from when you get to Iono to be like, okay, she's electric. I could just bring a bunch of ground Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I will win. Like, nothing. No, the game is not telling you can't do that. You could do that with ultimately every gym leader, right? Like, when you get to, if you decide to do, what's her name? She has like the Teddy Ursa the bug. Kelly. What is her name? I can't remember.
I could not tell you.
don't
right now.
know.
It's on the tip of my tongue. She's the first gym leader. She's like the baker. When you get to her, you could get to her with like level 100 Pokemon, right?
Right.
Or you could roll up there with level 10 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or you can roll up to her with 6 Pokemon. Or you can roll up to her with 1 Pokemon, right? Like, the game isn't restricting you on doing that.
Right.
The game is like, I've seen players go like, man, I wish the games would be harder. It's like, well, you can just make them harder yourself. How can you do this? Okay, like, challenge yourself not to use items in the battle. And the response is like, well, what if the game just told me I couldn't use items?
Her name
Why
is
does the
Katie,
game
by the
need
way.
to add that restriction? You can just
Katie.
you can just tell yourself, I'm going to use the same amount of Pokemon as the gym leader. If the gym leader is going to use 3, nothing. Like, you can just
Yeah,
take
for
3
sure.
Pokemon out of your party. You could
Yeah.
just not use items. You could just not overlevel. You could, if you wanted to be harder and you're against a fire type gym leader, you could bring grass Pokemon, right? Like, there's so many ways you could make the game harder
Yeah.
without the game saying, you need to do this. And I think that's why I appreciate the donuts so much, because you can make a dozen donuts. And then when you get to a hyperspace thing, it's telling you how hard it's going to be per your donut. You want it to be the same level? Use this donut. You want to be under level? Use this donut. You want to be over level? Use this donut. And what's great about that is you still get your team at the end of the day. Like, you don't have to go out of your way to force rules or restrictions on yourself. Like, the game is still giving you all those options without saying, like, nope, you absolutely need to come in with 6 Pokemon. It needs to be these. I think the great thing about ZA is I saw somebody post this on Twitter and I really resonated with it. It was I've never lost a battle in ZA, but I've used the most revives I've ever used in a Pokemon series.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really relatable.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've done in ZA that I've never really done in any Pokemon game is, like, consistently change the 4 moves I have on a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, when I walked in to fight an unknown, not going to spoil Mega Pokemon, I looked at it and I went, okay, well, if you Mega Evolve and you change your type, that's going to be a problem. But I'm going to assume that you're not going to change your type and you're weak against this type. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to change my moves to be super effective.
Mm-hmm.
And in most Pokemon games, I don't do that, right? Like,
No.
Right.
Yeah, you're not
For
going in there
sure.
and changing your moves every 3 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then when I'm done with that battle, I usually change back to more of a generalized move pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a highlight of that game is, you know, you have these Pokemon as tools, or you do change your team out, you know, like, hey, if they're a ground, like 4 of my Pokemon are weak to ground, maybe I should change 1 or 2 out.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think that plays to all your Pokemon being level 100, or the game just giving you a lot of candy, so then you feel more compelled to power up something, to then go, okay, cool, I have I only had 6 level 100, DLC gave me a bunch of candy, now I can power up 3 more Pokemon to level 100.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's a new Pokemon, like, oh, Farfetch is in the DLC, great. I want to use Farfetch.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me so much candy, great, I can use Farfetch right away. I can get them to 100 instantly.
Right.
I think the DLC does so many good things in the regards of making it not making it harder or easy, but like giving you the tools to play how you want to play without forcing you to say, like, okay, you need to do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Pokemon games have always been good at, like, play it exactly how you want to play it. If you want it to be easy, it'll be easy. If you want it to be hard, here's how it can be hard for you.
Yeah, one thing that I think that this game does, and they've been getting better at this over time, but changing around your moves, changing around your team, it's so easy. It's so quick and easy. You just go in there, change your moves. You don't have to worry about finding a person to, maybe you have a hard scale, maybe you don't.
You don't have
But
to
it's
knock
so
out
easy.
20 Mareeps.
Exactly. It's like this. It's too hard. I don't want to do any of that. Too much time. But now it's just like, oh yeah, you just go in there, click a button, you're good. It's so easy to level up Pokemon. You're getting candy all the time. And I think that is really something that Pokemon has been improving on, where it's just like, yeah, you can create as many Pokemon as you want. It's not going to take you forever to grind up to level 70 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have more options because of that.
Yeah, for sure. Or you can do what I did and get your Mewtwo and then put that Mewtwo right on your team immediately. Because that is
That'll
the
do
first
it.
thing I did was
That will do it.
good psychic Pokemon.
We already learned this like a week or two ago, Bobby, where you're like, yeah, I got the Mew and I put the Mew right on my team in BDSP, and I
Yep, that's what I do.
Simmy's here still with me, so
Wow, that's a choice.
Are you still rocking 4 fire type moves on that
absolutely. I'm not changing. I know I just went on this whole thing about how easy it is. I'm not changing those.
Can't change
Fire
perfection,
spin.
right? Don't change
Yeah,
perfection.
Of course. I would never ask him to change.
Was there any other highlights or?
I have a small complaint that's very minuscule.
Okay.
You can't craft. You can kind of craft more than one donut at a time, but you can't like make a dozen.
Yeah.
There's no
Mm,
make a dozen button, which for donuts seems like there should be.
yeah, it really should be like a baker's dozen or a baker's dozen
Yeah.
situation. there.
Yeah,
It's
you
pretty
get the
easy
cool.
to just keep clicking that button over and over, but
Yeah, you get the cool hyperspace berries, and
Yeah,
when you're just filling the Pokedex, it's like, well, I don't care, if I just
Right.
need to throw like garbage donuts at this because I'm just gonna go in. I just want to catch the one Pokemon. I don't really care about anything else. So I really only need like 2 to 3 minutes. I don't need like a 6-minute 4-star donut, right?
yeah.
But I do wish there was like something with Ansha where I could just say, can you just take like my non-hyperspace berries and just make me like a dozen garbage?
Yeah.
that would be
Sometimes you
nice.
just want to go in and out really quick, and you don't need the extra big donuts.
Oh, I do have one. It's not a complaint. It's just I thought it was very funny. It's at the very beginning of the DLC. So this isn't a spoiler or anything, but just to get the donuts going, there is a small little mission you do before getting to the part where you can actually get donuts.
Yeah.
And in that mission, you are tasked with getting butter. And I think it's hilarious that Tawny or Urbane goes to the place to get the butter, and you have like, I mean, at least for me, I have like $800,000, right? And yet Tawny goes to this small business owner and is like, I get this for free. And
It's like, I don't mind. I'll pay for it.
yeah, it's like, I've got $800,000 and we're like essentially stealing butter from this small business owner. What are we doing?
I feel like they made Tawny and Urbane like more unlikable.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know what it is about these characters. Besides, my only I don't even think this is right, but the closest I can think of is Tawny and Urbane give off main character energy, and they treat you like an NPC.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
They think you're a
Mhm.
side character in the story.
100%.
For sure.
100%.
And I don't even think they're. It's not like they're Nemona. Nemona is like, I'm champion. It's so exciting that you're here. I'm going to pick the weaker Pokemon because I want to challenge myself. And I'm so excited for you to get challenged because like no one else has been able to challenge me. And there's something really like endearing about that. Of
Mhm.
like somebody who's just into battling, believes that you could actually possibly beat her or at least give her a challenge. And like she's already like made it, right?
She feels like a mentor in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? Yeah.
And
But
then with how he's just like, I don't care. I just want to sit on the beach. Like, you're my friend. Like, let's go get some donuts. Like, he just doesn't care about anything.
It's the best.
And Hop is
Malasadas.
more like, I want to be my brother. I'm never gonna live up to my brother. He gets like bullied. He like changes his whole team. Like realizes that he doesn't actually have to be his brother. Like totally get all of those. But like, so there's something about Tawny and Urbane that are just, it's just like, I don't really like you, but you haven't done anything to.
Yes, there's no reason not to.
Right, like.
Yeah. Well, because it's like, oh, yeah, they're like, I'm going to go take care of all this important business stuff at Quasartico. You help this guy that got stuck in a tree by his Spinnerack. I'll go deal with
Yeah.
the main story stuff. You can
Yeah.
sit
Or
back here.
when you go to Justin's mansion and she's like, well, I don't want to be here. And it's like, well,
Gotta
I
go.
do. And
Yeah.
she's like, well, let's leave. And it's like, but I don't want to. And then when you leave, she's like, I got to go do something, but I'm not going to tell you. And it's like,
Well, then
what-
what are you? Why are
I'm
you
the
bringing me
main
along
character.
here?
What do you mean you're not going to tell me?
Which is wild after you paid off all of her interest for the debt that she was in.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even seem to care.
Like, I can't figure out if it's intentional with the writing to make those two. They're like the same person, Urbane and Tawny. I just
Yeah,
don't want to like
right.
pick on one of them specifically. I don't know if it's intentional with the writing to make them kind of like slightly irritating in that regard, or maybe I'm just being dramatic about like. But I do feel like,
No, that's
why
not
are you not
dramatic.
communicating stuff with us?
Yeah.
Even
That-
with when
that's
Leon
a-
shows up and Leon is like, "Hey, I'm the champion. I'm gonna handle this. You go
Yeah.
do something else." That makes sense.
It makes more sense.
I think that's part of it is that she isn't any better than you. I'm
She,
saying Tawny
she's not.
in
She
this
lost
case,
to me
'cause I-
several
Tawny.
times. She's definitely not better.
Yeah. But it's even in the actual story, the other members of Team MZ seem irritated with Tawny or Urbane because they're not communicating. So it's not like just feeling it on our end. Like
Sure.
that's the storyline, right? Is that they're not communicating everything with the team. And I don't feel like that ever resolves. It's just that they're not good at communication. Which is
Maybe
weird.
Yeah.
they'll get to that in the second DLC.
I mean, maybe they get to it in the first. I don't know. I just by the end of the base story, that doesn't resolve.
No,
they are
not
just as
really.
bad at communication at the end as they are at the beginning of the game.
Also, isn't it something where like you have to battle to see who goes inside the tower, and you win the battle, and then she or he goes, "Well, I'm
Oh,
going in the tower anyways."
I'll do it anyway.
Well, yeah, but they do kind of. I mean, they don't give you a choice in the sense of like in the game you have to just let them
Yeah.
do it, but they do like beg you. No, like please, I want this to be me. Like they do.
Please let me do it.
Yeah, they do like.
I
do
think
that.
one of the reasons too was like you work better with Zygarde, and Zygarde was spotted on the roof.
Yeah.
They do,
okay.
yeah, they do say
Yeah.
like Zygarde chose you, like you should go after Zygarde. But I think that was just their excuse for getting to go in the tower.
They're just like, oh, I got to think of something really quick. How do I get up there? How do I make sure I'm the one that's in the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My final non-spoiler thing I want to bring up is I don't like this battle system.
Oh,
Oh,
I
we
went
came
from-
back. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. When
Okay.
I played in Paris and the Nintendo rep came up to me and she was like, "How'd you like it?" I was like, I like turn-based more.
yeah,
And like I was being honest, right? Like, sorry you spent all this money to fly me out here. Like, sorry, I'm not super enthusiastic like
Yeah.
the other people who are probably maybe enthusiastic because they got a free trip to Paris. But like, I want to be honest with you. And I would hope that they would appreciate my honesty. But I was like, you know what? I'm not sold on the battle system. I really like turn-based. That's what brought me to Pokemon to begin with. I like turn-based games. I just do. A turn-based game, one game of the year, by the way. Like
Yeah.
Expedition 33. Like people like turn-based. It's not like an old mechanic, right? Like
well, it is an old mechanic, but people like it.
right. It's not like an
It's not
outdated,
outdated.
mechanic.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, Baldur's Gate 3 is turn-based, and it won Game of the Year last year. Like people
Yeah,
like
no,
turn-based
people-
games.
Yeah.
People do like turn-based games for sure. Yes.
And that's what I said to her, right? I was like, it's okay. I like turn-based more. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the battle system. And, she was like, totally understand. Also, Champions is eventually going to come out. So, you'll get that turn-based feeling. And there was, like, as I got farther into ZA, I started liking the battle system a lot more, specifically with, like, the alpha battles. Like, I
Yeah.
liked that some of the alpha rogue battles had, like, damage checks. And I liked that it felt very,
Yeah, right.
Final Fantasy 14-ish, like very light. Obviously, like Final Fantasy 14 is a very complicated game, and you usually have like 20 different moves you can do, and
Wait,
you're
did you
playing
say
with.
sorry? Did you say Alpha Rogue or you meant Mega
Oh
Rogue?
yeah,
Mega
sorry,
Rogue.
Mega
Yeah.
Rogue,
Mega Rogue, yeah,
Mega
right.
Rogue
Yeah.
battles. Like I really did think it shined in that instance. And in the DLC, they force you to do a lot of double battles.
Mm,
and it just fell apart for me.
yeah.
Just complete. I think in the base game there's like 2 double battles. I
Yeah,
think
very few. Very
there's like
few.
one against the 2 Dedenes. Uh,
That's a great battle.
and then near the end there's kind of like triple-ish battles.
Yeah.
As you
Those
go up to like
I didn't like those
Mhm.
battles a whole lot.
no, I didn't like the triple battles either, and my frame rate. I'm on a Switch too. My frame rate was awful, and I'm
Mhm.
not sure how people were like, "Yeah, there's no frame drops on the Switch too." My frame drop was when there's 6 Pokemon all trying to do
Sure.
Earthquake at the same time. Your frame rate just
Yeah,
goes
yeah, yeah.
down.
Yeah.
But in this DLC, there's a lot of double battles, and they just do not feel good at all. They're fine. Like, and again, this is what I said earlier. Like, if there's a specific double battle pretty early on that I think a lot of people struggle with. It's all over Twitter. I don't want to spoil what mega it is, but it's pretty early on in the DLC where you have to like. There's like it's 2v1. And it's probably like it's being memed everywhere of like being hard. But again, you can make that as hard or easy as you want, right? Like
Right.
you can there's specific Pokemon you can bring to that battle that makes it much easier. And if you want it to be hard, don't bring those Pokemon. And you can use a lesser donut and it's going to be harder.
Mhm.
You can use, if it's still hard at an equal donut, then you can use a better donut and it will become easier, right? Like there's so many ways to scale that fight, and I really like and appreciate that. But the whole double battle system, I went back to not liking it. There's just so many little things about it. It almost feels like a clunky fighting game, and I don't like fighting games. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
like you could add all my favorite Pokemon to Pokken Tournament. Probably not going to play that much Pokken Tournament.
Yeah. I haven't done, again, I am not that far into the DLC, but I feel like I do like the battle system, but I wouldn't want it to replace what they have for like Gen 10
Sure.
or whatever. Like I want that to be turn-based, but it would be cool if they did make the battle system, if they actually did keep this battle system and then like worked on it to make it a little better over time. I don't know that they will do that, but like if in future games, whether they're Legends games or some other game that isn't the next generation, it would be cool. I think it would be cool if they actually did keep this battle system, but then just worked a little bit to like make some improvements, because I do think, to your point, that there are parts of it that aren't great, but I feel like they could be better. Like I could see where they could make improvements to make this battle system work better. But at this point, I wouldn't want it to overtake the turn-based this is a main series game, but the main series games that
Right.
push the generations forward have. I want that
Yeah.
to stay turn-based. But I do like the battle system overall. I just feel like it's the first time they've really done this. And if they were to keep at it, I feel like they could make improvements over time.
Just out of curiosity, is there like a specific improvement you have in mind for this, or just like generally speaking?
I think you moving your Pokemon
Yeah.
with your
Okay.
direction is
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
just need to like get over that. I feel like if you were able to just move your Pokemon, it'd be 100 times better.
A
Because-
1,000,000% agree.
I feel like there are ways about battling and being under leveled and still being able to beat stuff, because you can dodge and kind of get distance and do other things to make the battle last longer. But it's still hard to do that with you moving your person, like you moving and then having your Pokemon move. But yeah, I that's like the biggest one, is just make it so that you're able to either control the Pokemon or just be able to dodge and move around, make your Pokemon move around quicker than they can now.
Yeah. And for the record, I understand the battle system. Like I know how it works. Like I've gone into some of these character battles in the DLC with
Mhm.
the intention of being 30 to 40 levels under,
Mhm.
and I've beat them. And I wanted that challenge to be like, okay, is
Yeah.
there something more to this battle system, or like
Yeah.
switching in or using specific moves? And that's fine. And there was like some enjoyment of that. I think what first triggered me of like the battle system being bad was me going into the battle royale and having 2 other players completely drop out. So then it ended up being a 1v1 battle royale. And they
Okay.
had an Aggron. And I was like, oh, cool, Aggron. I never like see Aggron. And then I had like Glaceon. Not good against Aggron, right? I had Chandelure, also not good against Aggron. And then I had Garchomp. And Garchomp, like Aggron's like very physically defensive.
Mhm.
And it was like fun. Like it was fun in the sense of like we both spun in circles for like a solid minute and we both like didn't attack each other. And then when I decided like, okay, whatever, like let's just attack, I knew I was at the disadvantage here. Like he had no reason to swap out Aggron, but
Mhm.
I had also no reason to swap in anything but Garchomp. But because Aggron had like Head Smash, which I think is like a 15-second cooldown, but it also does like 150 damage, and like a lot of Legend ZA is like one-shotting the other Pokemon.
Yes.
He one-shot my Garchomp with Head Smash, and by the time I came back in and was able to walk back up to him, his Head Smash was ready again. And Head Smash doesn't have like a huge charge up like a Hyper Beam or like an Ice Beam, right? It goes off instantly with the punishment of your punishment is you have to wait really long for it to recharge. But
Right,
because
sure.
I was respawning in, it would always be fully charged.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his other Pokemon was, but he also didn't have a reason to switch. Like he saw all 3 of mine and was like, oh, there's no reason for me to switch here. Like
Mhm.
I cannot win no matter what I did. And maybe that would be different if it was like, okay, I see 6, you see 6, we both pick 3. Obviously, I would pick something that would go against Aggron.
Mhm.
But I still don't know how you get around like Head Smash in that instance. Like it triggers instantly. It's not like
Right.
Ice
Sure.
Beam where it charges up, or like if I can see somebody Ice Beaming, I can like hide behind a bench or a pole. Like they just have to walk up to me, hit Head Smash, and by the
Press the
time I
button.
respawn back in, that Head Smash is ready to go. And you know what? On top of that, they could just stand on top of my spawn point, which they did. And
Just
as soon as
wait.
I came back in, they Head Smashed me again.
Well, I mean, that goes to like the way that the ZA like Royale works, right? I'm not as big a fan of, I'm thinking more of like a traditional battle where you wouldn't be like respawning, right? So,
Right. Okay. In that instance, right? Like I would send in another Pokemon.
and at least
He would
do
still have
something.
to wait the 15 seconds to Head Smash. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right in that instance. But yeah,
Yeah.
in the ZA Battle Royale, because your whole character has to respawn.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But in that instance, I was like, yeah, this battle system ain't it.
No, that's fair. That's a good good point.
Yeah. I again, I've said this before. I will end on this point. I think the battle system really shines against the rogue mega Pokemon. I think that is where it is
Absolutely.
the best.
Mhm.
But that's also because those Pokemon have like
So
30
much health.
times the HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a
True.
more longer. It's just like why I like the 7-star raid battles, because there's like more teamwork involved and there's more like thinking, and like moves like Nasty Plot or Screech, they do a lot more.
Yeah.
Whereas in the normal game, it's just one-shot simulator, which is like fine.
Yeah, I really like the rogue mega battles and stuff like that, but I would never want every battle to be like that. That would just take too long.
Oh yeah, the whole game.
But I think they are the best version of this battle mechanic. Like it's night and day of how like it actually takes some skill, some thought to battle some of these rogue megas, but then you're just one-shotting everything. So I
Mhm.
don't know what like the middle ground would be. I guess like important character battles, trainer battles, put in that big open field with like a lot of HP maybe, but then it's like it's not, I don't know.
I think there's a place to like a Gen 10 would be, turn-based battles, but these big gigantic Pokemon, whether they're Mega or
Whatever they
Dynamax
are.
or whatever,
Mhm.
they're more of an actiony battle. I think there's
Mhm.
I think you can have room for both.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool because I feel like they really missed out on not having online rogue mega evolution battles where
For
you can
sure.
do that with friends, because I think that would be really fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. We got one more topic and then our break, although our final topic probably only going to be like 15 minutes or so, but we've already hit the 90 minutes of this episode. So we will take one more quick break, and then we will talk about sales numbers for the year. So we will be right back. This podcast is brought to you by Hims. Hair loss isn't just about hair, it's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. Hims helps you take back your confidence with access to simple, personalized care that fits your life. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. Look, you shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims can bring that expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that puts your goals first. No needing to leave your house or schedule an appointment 2 weeks out, or a month out, or 2 months out. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/PKMNcast. That's hims.com/PKMNcast for your free online visit. hims.com/PKMNcast. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See full website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. And we are back from our break. All right, I'm going to assume that these numbers are accurate. I've never heard of gaming on phone or their website. They have numbers for like Clash of Clans and League of Legends, and I'm not exactly sure where they're pulling these numbers from, but we're going to pretend for the sake of this segment that these numbers are right.
Yes.
It's easy to cross-reference like some of these numbers, like Pocket, because we've seen that on, was it Sensory Tower? But I've never seen people post Pokemon Home numbers before.
They got the inside scoop, I guess.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
But they have numbers, and like I said, I spent some time looking at like the League of Legends numbers they posted and the Clash Royale numbers they posted, and I checked their cross post, and they seem pretty accurate. So, for the sake of this, we're gonna assume that this is accurate. We've never gotten Pokemon Home numbers before. That's why this is more interesting to me. But this is what they say. They say the Pokemon Company's revenue from mobile games in 2025. Pokemon TCG Pocket. This is revenue, $646 million. Pokemon Sleep, $40 million. Pokemon Unite, $15 million. Pokemon Home, $5.4 million. Cafe Remix, $1.7 million. Pokemon Friends, $1.1 million. Thank goodness, third week in a row we get to talk about Pokemon Friends. And Pokemon Quest, $0.5 million. $500,000. Missing from this is Pokemon Go and Pokemon Masters. Although last time we talked about Pokemon Masters, it was it was like around the $10 million mark, I think. It was like
Yeah, that sounds right.
1/10. It was like significantly less than Pocket when we compared that to Pocket.
Yes, yeah.
So I get number one, no surprise that Pocket is number one.
Yeah.
Right.
Although I think Pokemon Go makes similar money as Pocket.
Probably, I would imagine, yeah, for sure.
I think the first surprise here is Pokemon Sleep being number 2 on this list.
Yes.
With $40 million, and then the other surprise is Pokemon Home being on this list. We'll come back to Pokemon Home. Let's talk about Pokemon Sleep. Well, Bobby, you texted me and said you were surprised that Sleep made way more than Unite.
Yeah, I was, because you can like wail in Sleep for sure. I guess I didn't think like that there were that many people doing that in Sleep.
Wailing?
Yeah, it feels I don't know. I like sleep, but when it's like $70 for what's going to be good for maybe like a few days, just doesn't feel worth it to me.
I'd
Ye-
agree.
Yeah, but like when I think, well, you're not wrong. But sleep is what, $50 every 6 months.
Yep.
So like when I said in the last segment I put $200 into sleep, that's because I've done the 6-month plan 4 times in a row,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And I think my current 6-month plan ends in what this game come out June?
Yeah, something like that.
So
Something like
I think it just re-upped at the beginning of this month. I think $50 for 6 months is a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But I also feel like you're kind of locked into this cycle of like, I'm going to play this game every day, and I don't know if Unite has that.
Mm,
That
Like
is
Right.
true.
even when you spend what, $10 in the battle pass in Unite, you could probably grind out the battle pass in a weekend or whatever, right? Like depending on how much or how little you play. But at a certain point, then once you hit the battle pass, you almost go, well, there's nothing to do. I already completed the battle pass.
Is there a battle pass once per month in Unite?
I think it's once per month, right? Or is it once every couple months? I don't know how often
Honestly,
they change it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did the Gengar. Gengar was like the first one, right? It was like Space Gengar. Then it was like Cinderace Pirate. And it was like Mew with the weird shoes.
Yeah.
But see, I think the thing that
Shoes.
caught me off guard is I was thinking about something like Fortnite, which obviously has a way bigger player base, but like all of their money is just aesthetics. It's
Yeah.
just made on aesthetics.
Yeah.
So like even with Unite having the battle pass, but then they have aesthetics, right? They have a lot of costumes and things like that. I just figured that would be a really big money, like a really
Sure.
big spend
I think
from people.
you're right, but I think the difference between Fortnite and Unite is one is a MOBA and one is a shooter.
True.
And I feel
Very
like
true.
you got to be very into MOBAs. And I just think shooters are in general more popular than, like, shooters almost feel like more accessible than MOBAs.
Sure. Yeah.
I think also to the casual player, if you're playing Unite, you probably pick up a character or two that you like to replay, and you would find value in spending $40 on skins. But in Fortnite, oh, new Sabrina Carpenter skin, I'm gonna buy that one. I'm gonna buy the Danny Phantom one, and so it's easier to spend more money as just a casual player, I think, because you're not playing every character.
Sure.
But yeah,
Sure.
you're just playing, your character doesn't change.
Yeah.
Well,
Right. So you're just changing up.
You're
what
just changing your
character
It's just like
looks
I'm just buying stuff for Blaziken.
Right. It's yeah.
But even with that example of I'm just buying stuff for Blaziken, there's not a lot to buy. There's like one $40 skin and then maybe like a $10 skin, and like, why are you buying the $10 skin when you already got the $40 skin?
That's
right.
true.
You're less
Yeah.
likely to swap them around.
And you're not playing all the characters, probably, so you're not gonna buy the skins for each of them. So you're not spending as much money in that way as well.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are Unite whales that buy every skin or whatever for every character. I'm sure they exist. Well, I remember
for
I was
sure.
at like a Twitch party before COVID, and I was talking with some random streamer about Apex Legends because that was like the game he streamed was Apex Legends. And I was like, in passing, I was just like, yeah, it's crazy. There's some people that just buy like every skin for every legend. And he was like, that's me. Like dead serious. He was like, that's me. And I was like, you play every character?
Okay.
He's like, no, but I buy every skin. And skins in Legends are skins in Apex Legends are $40 a character. It's the same as Unite. And I'm like, and
Steep.
I don't remember how many heroes there are in Apex Legends. It's been a while since I played, but I just can't imagine spending $40 on like, I don't like playing Decidueye in Unite. I just don't. I think Decidueye is a cool Pokemon, but I can't imagine being like, yep, I'm going to drop $40 on Decidueye. I hate playing Decidueye, but I got to have it. I can't, I don't know. $40? That's one
That's a
Expedition
lot.
33. That's one game of the year.
It is true. That is true.
That is that's the thing. I think that's to take it back to ZA for a second and the DLC is, people are like, oh, it's $30, and are you really getting that much out of it for $30? I've dropped $30 in a 2-day span on raids for the same Pokemon that
Yeah.
didn't go shiny, and now they're just
$30
sitting
is-
in my storage doing nothing.
$3 is one meal at
Right.
Five Guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
like-
2 fancy coffees.
Right. And so this isn't to say that those people are wrong. This is to say, like, our perception of money in gaming has been altered in probably a bad way over these
Yeah.
years with microtransactions and things like that, because it's so different, right? It's so different to think about like going and picking up a $40 or a $60 game versus spending $60 on a mobile game. And they're clearly not equal in
Absolutely
so many
not.
ways. It feels weird sometimes.
But comparing the Unite to Sleep on the last point here is like, even if I love Unite and I love playing like, let's just say 5 characters, and I bought the $40 skin for all 5 characters,
Mhm.
I feel like that stops, right? Unlike Fortnite, I don't think Unite is putting out enough skins fast enough at enough different
Right.
prices.
Hmm.
And Austin made a great point. Like, I'm still the same character in Fortnite. So I can
Mhm.
buy Sabrina Carpenter, or I can buy Uma Thurman, or I can buy Homer Simpson, and that's not changing. I could really like Latios as Pokemon, but I could also not enjoy playing them in Unite. And I don't even think Latios has $40 skins. They might, but
If they put
like
out
Cramoran
a
only
Latios,
has one $40 skin.
right. If they put out a Latios skin where you were wearing the shirt and pants of Homer Simpson, I would buy that immediately.
So I do think I do think Sleep is easier to whale in, because you have to play, if you're into it, you have to play it daily,
Yeah.
and you're probably at the subscription level, and then there's like, I'm running out of biscuits, I need more biscuits. They're like every week there's a new like exclusive bundle pack.
Yeah.
Which I guess our Sleep segment is going to get bumped to the bonus episode, but
Well, so to that point, I guess I just thought that, I guess I didn't realize that Sleep has a bigger player base than it does.
they opened a new studio in Kyoto.
You're right.
So like, I think these numbers line up. Like 40 I am also surprised it's making $40 million. Like, if you were to ask me how much Sleep was making, I'd probably be like, probably the same as like Masters, probably like closer to 10 million. This is
Yeah.
making 4 times the amount Masters is making,
It's
wild.
which I think says a lot about, maybe people don't care about characters as much as they care about Pokemon.
I think
Sure.
that's 100%. I think that goes back to our conversation with like them not caring so much about the scenery and other things about ZA, but like the Pokemon have different footsteps when they walk in ZA. Like
Yeah.
the Pokemon will always be the focus of the Pokemon company. And I think it's because that is what everyone loves, is the Pokemon. They can love the characters and like the people and stuff, but from the time you were a baby to an adult, right? Like people are having their kids pick out like Bulbasaur or Charmander or Squirtle, and which one are they going to crawl toward? No one's giving them red, blue, and green and saying, all right, which character are you going to crawl toward, baby, and pick, like the Pokemon are what people
Mhm.
love more than anything.
We got Cafe Remix here at $1.7 million. There's still debate here whether Cafe Remix outlives Unite or Unite outlives Cafe Remix, but 14 million compared to 1.7 million. I think Unite is doing fine.
Yeah.
Somebody's playing Cafe Remix. But like there only has to be like 5 people playing Cafe Remix, and one of them is Joe Sarabee over here.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
I don't know who the other 4 people are, but I'm sure of the 1.7 million, Joe's giving them like $250K to make sure all the puzzles are documented on his website. Pokemon Friends is at $1.1 million. I did the math here. If we break the $1.1 million into people who spent $30, myself included. I spent my own money on Pokemon Friends. That means 36,600 people bought Pokemon Friends at full price.
Oh, that's not
That's
that
not that
many.
many.
people.
That's not that many.
Yeah. Okay. That actually makes sense.
So $1 million, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like a pretty small. I mean, again, just a reskin of another game.
Yeah, I was like, the development costs are already done. It's
Yep.
just
Yeah. So about 36,000 people paid for Pokemon Friends. Again, if they bought the $30 version, yeah. I mean, Bobby only bought the $10 version.
yeah, but even the $10 version, that's just 3 times what you just said. So even that's just like 99,000 people.
Yeah.
Even so.
Also, to
somewhere
be
in
fair,
between
this
there.
is mobile game revenue, so we don't. Even if we assume 50% of the people bought on mobile and 50% of the people bought on Switch, that's still only 70,000 people who bought Pokemon Friends.
Still not
That's
a
not
lot.
that many.
Not
Like,
not a lot.
Yeah.
For some comparison, new Pokemon Snap on the Switch sold about 2 million copies. Original Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64 sold about 3.5 million copies, I think. And then the best-selling spin-off game is Pokemon Stadium, the original, which was 5.4 million copies.
Yeah.
And we talked about this during the Pokopia episode. I still think Pokopia is going to break 5 million copies.
For sure.
Yeah,
think 10.
I would
think
be
we're
very
gonna see
surprised if it doesn't.
10. I think we're
I
going to
think
see
the only
10.
thing that would stop Pokopia from selling is just there's not enough Switch 2s out there yet.
I mean, they sold like 3.5 million in the first weekend or something, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And there's a holiday season coming up. I think we're going to have
I think Mario Kart also had like an
enough.
80% attachment rate to the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Final game on this list would be Pokemon Home. Not really a game, but
Wait, hold on. Quest. We got to talk about Quest real quick.
oh, sure, go ahead.
I'm a little surprised that Quest is so low. And maybe that's because I overspent on Quest since I bought it on
Well,
like
it's only this
multiple
year.
systems.
So it's only the money they made
Oh,
this
it's just
year.
2025. Okay. Well, then that's
And I'm surprised
kinda
it's
high.
got that much. Yeah.
It's good to provide. Quest is a great game, though. Quest is a great game.
So again, if we're going only, so this is saying only money made this year.
Right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
This should give us a clue of how many people subscribe to Pokemon Home. I've always been under the impression that Pokemon Home is not as important as some people make it out to be. And if Scarlet and Violet sold 27 million copies,
Mhm.
I still think Pokemon Home has less than 1 million users. So that means like 1 out of 27 people are moving their
Sure.
Pokemon between other games.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
they're saying it made $5.4 million on mobile. A Pokemon Home subscription is $16. So that's the only thing you can buy in Pokemon Home. So
Yeah.
this has to be the most accurate, like, right? Like, at least with Pokemon Friends, you could buy a $10 version, you could buy a $10 and a $15
Right.
version, you could buy a $30 version, right? You can only buy one thing in Pokemon Home, and it is the subscription. I don't even think you could buy a month, right? It's only
I think
1
it's-
year.
It's just
Yeah.
annual, yeah.
Yeah. Which is $16. So $16 divided by 5.4 million is 337,000 people on mobile are using Pokemon Home. And again, this is only mobile, so if we assume that the Switch is the other 50%, that only gives us 675,000 people using Pokemon Home.
Which feels low.
That's less than 1 million.
Yeah.
When
That doesn't-
when Scarlet and Violet sold 27 million.
That doesn't really feel that low to me. I mean, in the sense of that's kind of where I would expect it to be.
Okay.
Because if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have a Pokemon Home subscription.
Yeah.
But a
And
majority...
if you want better value out of your $16, patreon.com/PKMNcast, we will give you more value than Pokemon Home will. I promise.
It's true.
Give me your
but-
shinies. I'll take care of them.
I will hold on to you. I will personally bank your
I'll hold
shinies
them.
for
we
you.
start
Yeah.
storing people's Pokemon.
Send them my way.
So yeah,
I
I
will
would say
organize your Pokemon Home account. I
Ooh.
will get
I'm
everything.
in. Take it,
That's-
please.
yeah,
Please
all
and
said
thank
yes.
you.
I will do that too.
Now
Or
I'm in.
I'm sending stuff to you,
Who's
Steve.
gonna be a new Patreon tier where I'll organize your Pokemon for you?
Sign me up.
Perfect. Yeah, I would say that makes sense though. I think that there are, and as proven by this, assuming that these numbers are accurate, a large majority of people don't care to move their Pokemon around.
Austin, you're one of those, right? You don't.
I am.
Wait, do you have
Yeah.
a Pokemon Home subscription?
I do.
But you
I
don't.
have so much in there.
But you don't move Pokemon out
At
of.
one point, when it first came out, I moved everything up,
Oh, okay.
and then now they're just sitting in there.
Yeah.
But I rarely take them out. Sometimes I'll look around in there
How long have you been
Pokemon
giving them
jail.
$16 a month or a year?
since it came out.
Yeah.
My Pokemon are in there, you know?
That's another thing, right? If 675,000 people are paying this a year. Also, how many people are actually using it
Yeah.
versus the people like Austin who you can't unsubscribe now?
No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
whatever.
What happens if you unsubscribe? Does it just go down to the 30 that you
It
get
does
for
go down.
free?
Yeah.
You can withdraw. You can't just put in. So if you
Okay.
unsubscribe, you will have just that free $30
Yeah.
that you can move in and out of, but all the other ones are only in withdrawal mode.
It's
So you
not
don't
too
lose
bad.
all your Pokemon. If
No.
for
No.
whatever reason you miss your auto renewal or something.
Yeah,
don't
no,
have to
you
worry.
don't lose
Like
all your
with
Pokemon.
Bank
This was-
back in the day.
No,
There
that was not true. That did not happen.
I thought it was like hit or miss. Like sometimes you would go back if it had been a while, and sometimes it would be there and sometimes it wouldn't. I don't know. I feel like I had times where like Bank lapsed because you couldn't auto
I had
renew.
bank lapse and I never lost my Pokemon.
And I didn't lose them, but I was worried when I went back. When I remembered, I was like, "Oh no! I really hope they're still there."
Yeah, I think these numbers make sense. I think they line up. I Pokemon Pocket is a money making. I mean, Pokemon Go also a money making machine.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, and to
but
be
man,
fair,
I like Pokemon Go way more than I like Pocket.
well, yeah, I mean, we figured that out last week. But to be fair, I did say that I find it weird people wailing on sleep when it only gets you something that's only good for like the next few days. But like Pocket's the same. I mean, what is Pocket getting you really when you open it
Yeah.
packs?
Yeah.
Really, you know? I guess.
I mean, I would argue that Pocket is pretty shocking because it is relatively easy if you're patient to complete a set without spending money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just log in and play every day, get your things, do your trades, gift your cards, you can complete the set pretty okay. Like
the regular set.
the regular set. If you're looking for gold cards or you're looking for the secret rares,
Yeah.
that has to be the majority of their money.
Yeah, for sure. Well, or just people like wanting to rip packs. That is what I mean.
Yeah, sometimes I just get in the mood and I'll just buy like a 10 pull pack, you know? So, yeah, I get that. Like, oh, you know what? I'm just sitting here. Let me open a 10.
It's been a long day at work today.
You just laying in bed and you're like, you know what
rip a
I can go
10-pack.
for? A 10-pack right now.
It just feels about right. I'm craving it.
Some people get off work and they grab like a natty light out of the fridge. Austin is
I
like,
open a 10 pack.
I was just thinking like Austin, like going to the bar, but like not ordering anything, just pulling his phone out, ripping a 10-pack, and then going home.
Can I get one water, please?
Oh, yeah, I'll just take, just a water.
Just a water. Let me rip some packs here real quick.
And then you go home sad because you didn't get anything good.
That's on par with people going to the bar, though.
Seems like it.
Also true.
All right, we'll wrap up there. If you would like to support the show, we didn't make it to 700 episodes. I don't know where I was going with that. We didn't make that because we. I was trying to do a Patreon tie-in, but I didn't want it to sound like because of your money we made it to 700 episodes. That's not true. This show made like no money for like 7 years straight. In fact, I would say the show actively lost money for the first 7 years. Anyways, if you would like to support the show, look. If you made it to the end, number one, super appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We didn't do anything like super sappy or anything, because again, over the years I've learned that, getting people on for interviews or doing one-off, like I understand that like us reporting the news is like why people come to the show, and it's not like they need the news quickly because you got to wait every Monday for the news, but it's just like expanding on the news and letting people know. People don't like to read. I understand. I don't want to go to Polygon and read a whole article or watch a 20-minute YouTube video to get the gist of things. So number one, super appreciate you making it to the end. Appreciate anyone who there are probably some people out there that have listened to all 700 episodes. That's crazy, but thank you. And if you just started listening, thank you. I will put something up on Patreon probably in the next couple days, if not by the time this episode is up, just kind of giving my thoughts about 700 episodes and where the show has been and where the show is going to go. We might have a little bit of that in the bonus segment, but I do want to talk about Pokemon Sleep. So if you are on the premium feed, stick around. We'll talk about Pokemon Sleep. If you are not on the premium feed, it looks like Sleep made about $39.5 million this year. So if you do care about Pokemon Sleep, patreon.com/PKMN. We know you Sleep listeners have money. So what are you doing not signing up for Patreon, really? But I will say we are approaching the end of the year, and then when people like to cancel subscriptions at the end of the year, they like to get all their finances in order because it's a new year. They like to, cancel their Pokemon Sleep subscription because they think they're going to go to the gym, but they're actually not going to go to the gym. Although you should go to the gym. I should also go to the gym. But I think if you want to start off 2026 good, I think you will get a lot out of a Patreon subscription.
I agree.
That's my selling point.
Yeah.
I should never work in sales.
And if you are a Pokemon Sleep fan, in the Slack that you can be a part of when you join the Patreon, we talk about Pokemon Sleep a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's probably that, and the Pokemon Go channels are probably like the two most active channels.
For sure.
But yeah, again, thank you for 700. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Austin. We will be back next week. But again, if you're on the premium feed, stick around. If you're not on the premium feed, patreon.com/PKMNcast. If you watch on YouTube, I don't know if I've ever said this before. If you watch on YouTube, I do upload the video version of the bonus segment to Patreon. So I'm curious, though, if you watch on YouTube, if you would prefer that to be on YouTube, because maybe it would be more work for me. But if that would get more people to sign up, I would do the work if I put the bonus on YouTube instead of on Patreon. I don't know. Actually, literally let me know either in the Patreon comments or the YouTube comments if you are more willing to subscribe or you're more willing to watch/listen if that bonus segment was on YouTube. Maybe under like a unlisted feed or something. I don't know how they do it. I have to look at other Patreons to see how they do it. I think they do it under unlisted. Let me know. Because I want people to listen to what we record. So anyways, thank you for listening. Thank you for the big 700. Huge shout out to Nick for doing the little bonus music that will be included in this episode. But stick around for the premium stuff if you are on the premium feed. Thank you. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super 700. Woo!
Do they
Yeah,
seem like a
maybe-
helper Pokemon, like an Entei, or not an Entei, like an Arcanine?
Didn't they just do that with a new one? They just did that with a Spiritomb.
Yes,
Oh,
Spiritomb is
yeah.
helping. Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like Charge Strength or something.
Ugh.
No, that's all right.